This gigantic Halloween store filled with costumes and animatronics never closes. Masquerade Costume Store, located in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, is unlike your average Halloween place. Being open all year round, has 2 floors, rows of merchandise, rare animatronics, and even having costumes for other holidays. This store has it all, and I will look at everything they have. Right as you walk in, you got some witches right here. I love old school props like this. I used to collect a bunch myself, and it even does something. It starts talking and says creepy stuff. And you also have this witch at the end. I don't know if it does something. Of course, they have a bunch of costumes and whatnot. I mean, that's what most of the store is. But first, I want to try to find all the animatronics, just because that's the stuff I like the most. Starting with this one right here, you have a creepy clown that I guess is part of a circus. I know they are supposed to do stuff, but I don't see any way to activate it, so I guess sadly we won't see it move. And then right above him, you have these creepy dolls swinging around. And as you keep moving back, there's even more of them. Moving along from him, we have this butler up there. That seemed to be a really popular prop back in the day. You would see so many butlers and whatnot, but I feel like that's a lost thing now. You don't really see many companies like Spirit or even Home Depot do butler props, so I'm glad they have one here. However, like I said about the last one, I don't see any way to activate these, so we're just gonna have to take a look. It's up to our imagination of what they do. But moving away from him, we have this really cool one. It's a giant werewolf right here, and I think it's either from Home Depot or Lowe's. I'm not sure, but it's cool nonetheless. I really do wish these worked though. I would have loved to see his mouth move all around and everything, but like I said, I guess there's nothing we can do. Come on, buddy, move. I think he's asleep. Now this one over here is one of my favorites so far. This is a really old Jemmy animatronic. They made a bunch that looked like this back in the day. However, this one was Dracula. I've always seen videos of this guy on YouTube when I was a kid, but never seen it in person until now. Most people would walk by this thing, not even take a second glance, but here I am loving it. I wish we saw animatronics like this nowadays. They were so well built, and you'll see them 15 to 20 years old and still working like they're brand new. And even better, there's a button down here. Let's hope it turns on. Yeah, it doesn't, unfortunately. Making our way down the aisle, up on the ceiling, you have this really big skeleton face thing. And then right in front of that, you have this animatronic named Jack Goodies. Back near the front, you have these 2 characters, starting with this mannequin witch, just a mask on a mannequin. It's not even an animatronic. And then right behind her, you have Ghostface. I don't think it's an animatronic, but I'm gonna leave him alone because it looks like he's getting his makeup done or something. Looks like he's having fun. Going down a little bit, you have this really funny looking dude here. It's like a nutcracker if he went insane. But I feel like I should probably warn him because right above his head, you have this guy ready to attack. Now, right across from that, I have to point this out. Right up there is a really old animatronic from Spirit Halloween. And what you're supposed to do is have a controller and he crawls around. I love going to stores like this because they'll have a mix of old and new stuff. Heading towards the back, this is where most of the animatronics are. Starting with this big group right here. You got this hulking werewolf, it's called. And then right in front of him, he looks like he's attacking this girl. But then who the heck is this guy? Yeah, this thing's a little too weird for me. And then on the other side, you have these 2 huge ones. And look at that, we have our first moving animatronic. You got the classic guy that watches the cemetery at night, and he's holding this sign that's 30% off all animatronics. And then next to him is the giant one. Not really sure what he is. Looks like he's almost a skeleton, but at the same time, I could see him being in a swamp. Behind them, it keeps going. We have the sword swallower. Do not try that at home. We got a couple skeletons with this big one on the ground right here, and then this giant 10-foot skeleton. This has been such a popular thing in recent years. I never saw anything like this when I was younger. No one had giant characters of stuff, but now I see it everywhere. Every house has a giant skeleton or werewolf or whatever it is. And then this one in the box I wish was on display. You have the giant man-eating plant, and I've never seen anything like that. Hey, look, they actually do have it on display. I missed it. It's right here in the front. Above here, we have some mannequins, or maybe they're animatronics. Here's this guy in the front. Behind him is Michael Myers, and for some reason, he's a pirate now. That's how you know they're making way too many sequels. Michael Myers is a pirate. And then behind him is a giant skeleton guy. Across from them, you have this giant clown with a little girl in a cage. It's a little hard to see because it's so high up, but you can tell what it is. Making our way down, we have this one here. You got some creepy characters swinging around. You have what looks to be the Headless Horseman, but it's not because he has a head. And then, hey, look at this. We got Batman and Robin, just because why not? Now, hopefully Batman and Robin can get this thing because I don't want to deal with that. And then, hey, look, it's Popeye. You really never know know who you're gonna run into in this place. Now, if you thought that was it, nope, we got more right here in the back. Look at this guy. He's talking to you while this person's squirming around in that bag. Now, I could save this person, but that would ruin the animatronic, so I'm not gonna do that. At the bottom, we have a broken tombstone. I guess it's supposed to come together and then breaks when you walk up to it. However, that one's not on. And then right here, we have the Soul Stealer. He's reading some creepy book, and you can tell by that hat, he means business. And then I almost missed these guys. Right behind them, you have a seesaw with these two creepy people. However, it looks like they're taking a little break right now because they're not moving. But the display that they're in is actually from Spirit Halloween. And you can see even more of that display on the other side. Right there at the top, it says Halloween Factory. On the top here, you have a whole group of animatronics. We saw that dragon one earlier, and there's really not much to say about the other ones. Now, for the most part, that's the majority of the animatronics. I mean, you do have a few more like these right here. This Freddy Krueger in the front. And hey, look at this. We even got the Grinch. But I'm ready to see some of the masks and costumes. I mean, that's what this place mostly has. So let's take a look. Starting right here, you have all the crazy masks. Like, I've never seen anything like this. Here's a creepy Santa. You also have this really cool Art the Clown mask. Here's Jigsaw, Freddy Krueger, Teen Wolf. I've never seen a mask for this movie. I don't know what this is. And hey, we even got Santa's helper. Now, I'm sure they have a bunch more, and we'll get back to that. But let's take a look at the humor section. I always love seeing the funny costumes. You got this muscle shirt right here, and I almost missed this. Right above there, you have this giant animatronic. And then let's not forget this creepy Shrek face in the middle. I love this one right here. It's just straight up poop. I mean, that guy's face looks like he loves it. I love this one because it just looks like an old school costume, just with how the design is. And you can see the name is Count the Calories. You can be a life-size Magic 8-Ball, the mom from Family Guy. Here's the classic banana. Let's not forget all the other foods like hot dog, taco, milk and cookies, or even a hot dog and a beer. And then right here in this bag section, you got a bunch of Biden and Trump faces. Oh, I'm sorry, it's not Biden, it's Mr. Prez. Moving away from there, we have all the kids costumes, starting with the boys section. It's mostly just the typical stuff you would see at any Halloween costume store. I mean, I guess they have stuff like this to switch it up a little bit though. And then hey, look, we got Roger Rabbit up above. And then you have the girls section, which is more or less the same stuff. However, you got this thing right here and this creepy Dora. And hey, look, just the costume I was looking for. Evil Puppet Boy. Not Chucky, guys. Evil Puppet Boy. Or even better, Haunted Girl. Wednesday? No. We got some more masks right in here. And this is the black light area. So I guess these masks are supposed to shine in the black light. And you can kind of see it with this one right here. Or even this clown. And basically, it just keeps going. They got every wig you can think of. Every hat. Every mask. And every costume. Now, I know I was looking at other stuff, but I had to throw this animatronic in here. You got Michael Myers with the craziest hair I've ever seen. I like it. He's trying to grow it out a little bit. He's getting a new look. It looks great, Mike. Over here, it's mostly Freddy Krueger and Jason Voorhees, along with Michael just hanging out. But I really wanted to point out this right here because I love this old school packaging. Everything looked like this when I would go to Halloween stores when I was younger. But this is pretty much the standard packaging nowadays. And speaking of that mask, here's all the ghost face stuff. I've never seen so many options in my life. Here's the one from Scary Movie. You got the American flag, diamonds all over it. I don't even know what's going on here. It's like melting into a pepperoni pizza. Another one from Scary Movie. Here's a pink one. You got green, orange, and green, but with diamonds. Hey, look, it's Ghostface as Jason Voorhees. But my favorite two are right back in the front. You got Ghostface as a leprechaun, and even better, here's him as a bunny. And I was just gonna say, now all we need is a Santa hat, and take a look, they even have that. Now, I may have shown you a lot of stuff so far, but just take a look right here. That's right, there's a second floor we still have to take a look at. Right in the front, you have this witch with her arm going crazy. It looks like it's almost created by AI. But the one I really want to see is next to her. You have the Death Row animatronic from Spirit. Basically, he would just sit there and thrash around, and it was such an awesome animatronic. And yes, we have more animatronics, starting with this rat-looking guy that almost looks like the animatronic Spirit has this year. This is like the father or something. In the middle, you have this giant skeleton with his arms that came off, and then just your standard Nutcracker here. But I guess it fits because they have a mini Christmas section with all the costumes you could want, plus more that you wish never existed. However, in the middle of all of that, here's a creepy animatronic. You got what looks to be Pennywise, even though it's not, with this little girl trapped in a cage. And then right at the bottom here, I just wanted to point this out real quick because this is the old school packaging I'm talking about. It was always so bright and just fun to look at. But besides from that, all the other stuff is your typical Halloween decorations. And then over here, you can get a good view at the entire store. You can see it all from up above. That was Masquerade Costume Store. Make sure to subscribe and buy merch. Link in the description.